What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to get into every young person's dilemma, right? Especially you live in big cities like New York, Miami, LA, DC, Seattle. Housing. You got to be a sugar baby in order to afford a housing, or your parents have to have money. Because right now, I can be making $200,000 a year, and I'll get a little piece of house in the corner just for like 900,000. At least here in Miami, it's crazy. Let's get into it without further ado.
People can't come in and afford to buy the houses that were shown in Hendersonville. I mean, it's hard to get a house in Hendersonville.
And this is Hendersonville, wherever the freak that is. I don't even know where that is. This is Hendersonville. This is obviously not a big major city. It might be, but nothing like Miami, right? So imagine if they're struggling there, right? If they're struggling there, imagine us. And you know what I hate? I hate, don't get me wrong, I love my grandpa, and I'm pretty sure you guys have grandpas and grandmas and moms and dads that do this too. Oh, but back in my day, I used to afford 3 houses just working off blah, 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 blah. Back in your days, I can work in McDonald's and afford a mansion with a horse and a stable and some pigs. Okay? Back in your days, I can be a taxi driver and live in Brickell or live in a skyscraper type of building with a panoramic, whatever, like with that view that's like all around, with windows all around. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. Oh my God, I hate when they do that, bro.
Under $500,000. I mean, so you got Jimmy and Jane getting married, having a baby boy, baby girl, and wanting to move into an area that they can live cheaper. They can't live in a $500,000 house. I mean, it takes you got to make a couple $150,000 a year just to support it, and then you're living on beans and rice almost. Right? Yeah, well, it just doesn't make sense. Yeah.
And the thing is, this is a married couples, right? So imagine somebody that's alone, that's single. You can have a decent job making $90,000 a year, and you still can live on your own. And if you can, you're barely getting by because either your rent or your mortgage is too high. You get me? Like, it doesn't make sense, man. I'm not saying life should be easy, but it shouldn't be this hard, especially for young people. I mean, we're not asking for mansions. We're not asking for a 5-4 bedroom house. Like, we're asking for something, just a starter pack, right? To move in and get started if you want to build a family. Like, we don't want to live in apartments the rest of our lives, but I feel like we're forced to.
So what's going to happen? Well, there's going to be wages are going to have to skyrocket.
Yep.
They're going to have to come up,
Which is bad.
or the government's going to come in and subsidize. Which the government wants to. The government wants to subsidize, because when they subsidize your income, they control you. Yep. And the government wants everybody on their dime so they can tell them what to do, and everybody will bow down and submit to the king government just so that they can get their way. But universal basic income, they've been talking about that for several years now. So it's coming.
See, people that really don't know, and this is just my opinion, right? How printing money or how universal income will work. Or raising the minimum wage, right? They hear that and they might sound, oh my God, yeah, it's perfect. That just makes everything even more expensive than it already is. And everything's already out of control. So yeah, raising the minimum wage from what, I don't know, for example, $15 an hour to $29, $30 an hour might sound good on paper, but then everything is just gonna get way more expensive. Even with a universal income. Oh, all these stores, all these companies know you have universal income now. So what do you think they're going to do? Oh, this guy is going to have more money in his pocket. This girl's going to have more money in her pocket. So let's raise the prices. Inflation is going to skyrocket. And then we're just back in the same situation right now. I don't know what the solution is. I don't know. That's not my job. But I feel like that's not the proper way to go about things. But we'll see.
Yeah, it's coming. You can just look, and it's the only way the game's gonna get played. It's the only game they're playing. Yep. All right. We got to see that. We'll come back in 2 days, and we'll look at that brick. It should all be done in 2 days. Beautiful. Excellent.
And this is, shout out to him. It's Real Estate Template, I think is his name. I'll tag it on the video of anything. But shout out to him, and this is, once again, this is not even in a major city that I know of. I could be wrong. But like, I think a major city is like, once again, Miami, LA, New York, DC. and it's like they're barely getting by. So what's the hope for us? Like, it's just I don't know, man. It's crazy.
You want to buy a house in West LA for under $1 million, you have, and I'm not exaggerating here, 3 options. So let's go through these, and I want you to let me know which one you would pick. Starting off strong in Sawtell, we have a
Bro, there's no way that's serious. There's no way they're asking for $950,000 for that, bro. No, that can't be.
two-bedroom, one bath, 660 square foot house on a less than 2,000 square foot lot. Like, yes, I want to say it's a teardown, but at the same time, I don't know what you can fit on a 2,000 square foot lot. It's surrounded by multifamily in a busy area. It's just, I don't know who's
What are we doing, bro? I know this is LA, but like, why is that even? Why does that owner even have the audacity to put that for $950,000, bro? Do you know what you can do with $1 million? You know what you can do with $1 million in a city that isn't that expensive? Oh my God, that is so aggravating, bro. And then you know what's sad? 660 square feet is that's smaller than my apartment, and I have a 1-1. That's the size of a cereal box. I don't, and you know what's sad about it? Somebody's gonna come around and buy it, and it's gonna be all cash, and they're gonna invest in it. They're gonna probably tear it down, make it into like whatever it needs to be, and then or cook, bro.
gonna buy this. Okay, first one in Del Rey, looking a little bit better. We got 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 1,300 square feet. Seems reasonable. Looks like it's in fine condition. What's the catch? Here it is. You are on Inglewood Boulevard, which is an incredibly busy street. A lot of traffic noise, surrounded by multifamily. All right, we got the cheapest of the bunch, 850,000. 2 beds, 1 bath, 900 square feet. But it looks updated. Okay, is it worth it? Let's see. Okay, first of all, pro tip. Do not buy a house that's less than 3 bedrooms. The demand for 2 bedroom houses is microscopic, so just avoid it. But they did an okay job. Yeah, you're seeing a common theme here. Jefferson Boulevard, law offices right next door, crazy busy street. Big
950,000 or $800,000 for a house like that. It just I can't fathom. Like I can't even like, bro. What are we supposed to do? We're supposed to be like, I'm not implicated. I'm not trying to tell you guys this, but like drug dealers, bro. Do you want us to be selling heavyweight? Like, do we all have to be OnlyFans models making them like? And I'm talking about the 1% of OnlyFans models. Like, I'm not about stripping, bro. I'm about to just start stripping. Like, what is like what's the end goal though? If that is 900, and I keep hearing, I've heard this for years. Oh, it's gonna go down. It's gonna the house market. House market is gonna crash. House market is gonna crash. Yeah, based on my statistic, the house market is gonna crash. Yeah, but it'll be an interest rate. But bro, nothing has happened. It's just gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. I'm so tired of hearing that. They might be right this time around, but I'm just so tired of hearing that and nothing happens.
Is the housing market going to crash? I don't think it's going to crash, but I do think we're stuck. Because if you bought a house between 2010 and 2020, let's say your loan amount is $200,000, you refinanced during the pandemic for 3%, that 3% on 200K over 30 years is only going to cost you a little over $100,000 in interest, which is a steal. And if that person, even in the past 5 years, if they gained $150,000 to $200,000 of equity and they upgrade.
And don't get me wrong, this sounds nice, but we're once again it's the same theory, right? It's the same. Oh, it might not. It might not. It's an opinion. It's once again an opinion. I hope he's right. I hope he's right, but it just I've heard this ever since what 2019, even before COVID. The same thing. Oh, houses are gonna go down. They have to go down. It's a bubble. It's gonna pop. It's gonna the same. It's gonna happen with the same thing in 2008, the financial crisis. And like a part of me doesn't want to wish for that because 2008, I was a kid. I think I was maybe in ninth grade. I don't know. I'm showing my age here, but people got their lives wrecked, bro. They lost everything because of banks or whatever being approving people that they know they didn't have the financial stability to be able to buy that house and be able to keep on paying that house monthly over and over. I don't know. It's just a lot. And I don't know if it's gonna crash. I don't know. Hopefully it's not to that extent that it just destroys people's lives, but something has to happen, right? And it's just once again, I don't know what it is. I don't know what the solution is. And I feel like we're just out here just throwing rebuttals for maybe I don't know. The more I talk, the more frustrated I get. But
to a new house and they get out a $400,000 loan today at 7%, it's going to be over $550,000 of interest. So who's going to trade $100K interest for $550,000 of interest? That is a huge L. Then you have people like me and my wife who bought in 2022. So anyone who bought from 2022 to 2025, we're also stuck because our housing prices didn't go up. So if we sell, we would actually break even or maybe even lose money. So we would take an L and we can't move. Then we thought, well, why don't we rent our house out and then we can go buy another house? But our mortgage is $2,900 and we can only rent our house for $2,200, $2,300. So we would lose there. So we're stuck. We literally can't move unless we want to take a 50K punch in the face. And then you have the sellers who have to move for work or whatever else is going on in life. They can't find a buyer because houses are $400,000 or $500,000. You need $150,000 to $200,000 to comfortably afford a house in today's market. So everyone is stuck. The only people who
I totally forgot about that. Your down payment. Your down payment. I don't think people understand that your down payment, your closing costs, all that. A down payment nowadays is like what, 50 grand, 40 grand? 40 grand. And then your mortgage ends up being 4 grand, 5 grand a month for a house that shouldn't cost that much. And then the interest rate, I don't know where it's at right now. I don't know if it's at 4, 5, 6. And it's just like, why? Like, it's so. And the other thing that we haven't come across, I'll probably talk about it in my next video. The entity that's buying these houses are corporates, right? Corporates buying these family houses and they're buying up like the whole neighborhood, increasing the selling price to then sell it over again or rent it. Sometimes they don't even want to sell it. They don't want to give up the property and they rent it. And it's just like, we're good, bro. We're good. We're good.
who might actually.
And this is coming from a person that wants a house. Yes, I really want a house. I want to live in the United States of America. I love America. Is it perfect? No, no country's perfect. Yeah, everybody has their flaws, but the best opportunities, the best market, the best job market, the best everything. Financially, everything is here. Do we have our problems? Yes, there's a lot of corruption. Inflation is crazy, but every country has that, right? This is probably the one country or one of the few countries left, and it's the best one of the ones left that you can actually get shit done. So this is why I'm like in this battle. It's just,
Right now is that you're someone who's making a really high salary, you have a good savings, very low debt, and you can buy a house right now because you might actually be able to get a good price and you might even get some of your closing costs covered. So if you're in that situation, I would take a look at what's going on in the market. I would talk to an agent in your area, talk to a lender, go to your local bank, or you can go over to my profile, talk to my preferred lender. They work in 49 states. I've been working with them for nearly 2 years. They're awesome. Try to figure out if this is a good time for you. But for every other category, even the people whose houses are paid off, everyone's just stuck. Is the housing market going to crash? I don't think it's.
We'll go ahead and watch one more video because I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. But I just want to see if I make this video, can people relate what I'm going through? And I know my friends are kind of going through this. And it's not like we're working in starter jobs. We're all making decent money. We're all working in these great companies. And it's like we're all stuck. And it's just so frustrating. Like, I know when I was in high school, I know, you know, when you're in high school, you're 17 or 16, you think by 30 years old, you have it all figured out. I know life happens and it's never the way you think it is, but I would at least have thought I would have a house by now, even if it's not one of this beautiful or the dream house you wanted, but at least a house. Bruh, I can't. Let's watch this one last video.
This is the most unaffordable housing market that America has ever seen. Let's use this home as an example, which is the American dream for a lot of people like me and my fiance. We do pretty well for ourselves.
That's a beautiful house. That's a house I would dream to have. I don't need nothing bigger than that. You know, like, cool if I get to the point where I can't afford something bigger than that, cool. But that will be the perfect house. Have 2 kids, have a wife, 2 cars, maybe another car that you can, like, that I want to build on or something, but nice backyard, a pool. Like, that's the perfect house. That house, I'm not saying should be the cheapest thing on the block, but it should be affordable for somebody that has a good job. Or 2 people, like a husband and a wife that have 2 good jobs, should be able to afford that without a problem, right? Let's see.
We earn in the 6 figures and we've always wanted this. But then this happened. $553,000 for this house. You may be thinking to yourself, well, that's not so bad. Let me show you. This home that was sold for $553,000, that was listed for $489,000, sold for $337,000 back in 2018. This home in 2025 with a $553,000 sale price, 6% down and a 6.5% rate, gives you a payment of $3,716. But back in 2018 with a $337,000 sale price, 6% down and a 4.5% rate, gives you a payment of $1,800. Which means to afford that home today, you need a household income.
Let's take that into perspective, right? 2018, that 1,800 monthly mortgage, 6%, even with the interest rate and everything, with the 6% down, I pay $700 more a month for my one apartment today, 2025. And in 2018, which isn't that long ago, you got a house that looks like a what? It's like a 4.4, bruh. 1,800 in Miami, in South Florida. Forget Miami. South Florida gets you squat, bruh. A month, nothing, bro. You probably get somebody's bathroom that they're renting out. You're gonna sleep on the floor. You have a place to wash your hands. You have a place to take a shit. You have a place to shower. Good luck cooking because there's no cooking, and good luck having a mattress. If you have a mattress, like whatever is it? What's the smallest one? A twin size bed. Put it there if it fits. But you think I'm kidding, bro? Go into Zillow right now and put South Florida and put 1,800. Either that or you're gonna be in the middle of the hood. Good luck, bro.
Of $230,000, when in 2018 you needed a household income of $100,000, meaning that back in 2018 a couple with 2 entry-level jobs could have afforded this house. That's the issue that many people like me and my fiance are having. How is it that we have to earn more than twice as much money to do the same things that people used to be able to do just 5-6 years ago? One of the worst parts is we can't get any honesty around the situation. So if you want honest news around what's going on in the housing market, make sure you check out my newsletter in my link in bio called Pissed Off Buyer. And let me know in the comments what's happening with the housing market in your city. Follow and comment for more. This is the most unaffordable.
And then you have people like, oh, just don't buy Starbucks, problem solved. I don't know if he's trolling, but it's like, come on, bro. Like, this whole other thing too, that is like, you gotta cut everything you enjoy off completely. Bro, why? Why? I understand, be responsible with your money. Always put some money aside, make sure you're saving. Don't overdo it either. You know, everything in excessive is bad. But like, you can get a cup of coffee once a week because you're back in our day. But well, shut the... Bro, so let me just live like a robot and not enjoy anything at all. Not go out to dinner with my wife once. Like, no, bro, we shouldn't live like that, especially if we have good jobs. I hate hearing that. But shout out to the James Cooper guy. He's talking facts. He got motion. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're as frustrated as I am. Hopefully, the future is more appealing, more bright for us young people that actually want to thrive, build something here in the United States. Love you guys. Like, subscribe me. Bye-bye.